dinner dish, what seafood are you picking? Or what meal are you picking?
I'll pick shrimp.
I'm talking about like meal. Yeah, po' boys, coffee shop,
Ribbons and rice.
ribbons and rice,
Ribbons and rice.
gumbo.
Or jambalaya.
So everybody, it is the next morning, carb loaded with some oatmeal, and then I had oatmeal again. So basically a lot of oatmeal yesterday to carb load for this 200-mile ride today. And yes, surgery is tomorrow. It is Wednesday tomorrow, which means surgery is tomorrow. We have to be at the hospital by 12 tomorrow, and then surgery is around 2-ish tomorrow. But we are gonna get this in. It is 3 a.m. right now. Well, actually it's like 4 a.m. But we finished up core, we finished up mobility, we finished up some foam rolling, we finished up everything like that because we need to get some mobility in. I actually did get some new type of foam roller type of deal. It is the R8 Recovery Plus. I will do a full review on that soon once I get used to it, see how it feels. Is it worth the $180 with tax? It's like $160, then you gotta include tax into it. So is it worth the $180? And I'm gonna discuss that in another video or something like that because it is quite expensive, but it is a company based out of Boulder, Colorado, and it's so far working out really nice. It does feel actually really good. I'm gonna actually do a peak sleep full review soon. I did like a 9-month trial or 4-bottle trial, which is around 120 days or something like that. I don't really remember, but wrong light, but somewhere around that time, and I did a week trial without it, but I'm gonna discuss that. But I have all of my fuel right here. Gonna probably do, this is not all of my fuel, obviously. I got my coffee, gonna put that in the coffee maker soon, but I actually am just gonna say this, I mean that's not gonna be all my fuel. I'm gonna have a Cliff Bar, but I'm gonna aim for the one of these honey things, which is around 50 calories, around, I don't remember how much grams of carbs that is, but I'm gonna aim for that every 45 minutes because I do notice when I was practicing this during the time, I would experience extreme discomfort in my stomach, and I really don't want that. And when I pair carbs with caffeine, my stomach just does not accept those carbs into my stomach, rather it's on the bike ride or the run. It's just, everybody's different, everybody's stomach is different, everybody's stomach can handle a certain amount of carbs, certain amount of glucose, a certain amount of caffeine, just everything like that. So that is what I'm gonna do. Don't copy me because you might be able to handle more, so actually do more if you're able to handle more. If you're able to handle less, well, hate to break it to you, do less, and it might cause you to bonk. But what's better than getting a stomach ache is bonking, because a stomach discomfort on a bike or anything like that is it's not comfortable at all. But I'm gonna get this 200-mile ride in. I mean, hopefully some of y'all join me on Zwift. I put it on my Strava. It said like join me or something like that. I put my username. I'm doing Watopia. I plan to beat my record of 200 miles and whatever on Zwift, which is 8,000 feet of vertical and 200 miles or something like that. I've been training for this. I tapered for it. I was gonna do something, a triathlon for my birthday, but then I was like, let me do this, because that was actually when my surgery was actually July 27th. Now it's August 3rd. So now I'm like, let me do something else. I was gonna do a 100-mile time trial on Zwift, but no, let me push the guns a little. Let me get my PR on Zwift. It's a 200-mile thing, 200-mile ride or bust, meaning that I'm just gonna ride 200 miles, or if I don't reach that, I'm not gonna reach it. I will feel guilty, but hopefully I can reach that. Hopefully I can feel good about conquering this distance. I carb loaded the day before I tapered, even though it was very hard to, because I mean, it's just surgery tomorrow. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to ride my bike tomorrow. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna be able to, but I'm going to try to get my PR on Zwift. I mean, hopefully I can do it. I'm gonna take it into consideration. I'm gonna hopefully have not a lot of elapsed time. It's gonna be at around a 10-hour ride, I feel like, on Zwift. So we'll see. I mean, we're in the comfort of our room, but I mean, it's gonna get really hot in here, but it's all about that. But yeah, we're gonna get to it. So what are you doing today?
Yours thing?
You're riding 200 miles?
No.
Well, then what are you doing?
Yours? Until I have to leave. Not exactly till I have to leave, but probably till like 12 or something, maybe. Hopefully.
Are you riding at my pace?
Yeah.
So I end up choosing the white chocolate cranberry Cliff Bar. This is going to be my last Cliff Bar for a while because I'm not going to eat a Cliff Bar before PT, just because Cliff Bar is not super satiating, and it's also just full of sugar and it's a bunch of calories, like empty calories as well. So I'm not just going to eat a Cliff Bar when I'm not trained. Also, if I end up riding a bike tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to eat a Cliff Bar or drink any water or drink any coffee, because if I really wanted to, I would have to eat before 4 a.m. because I don't really know the true reason why, but I can't eat anything or drink anything for that matter until after the surgery, which is gonna suck, but oh well. I mean, what am I gonna do about that? It's not gonna feel the best, especially after a 200-mile ride when I know I probably will end up being in a deficit for those 2 days. So who really knows how I'm going to actually feel tomorrow to be able to ride a bike, but also to not be able to eat tomorrow. Like, I'm not gonna be able to eat. Like, that's like one thing that I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna suck. I'm just gonna say that. But I chose a white chocolate cranberry Cliff Bar. I was gonna do chocolate chip, but I was like, this was really good when I had it a few days ago. Even though chocolate chip is good, I only had it one of these in like 2 weeks or something. Chocolate chip, I had like 10 of them in like 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go ahead with the cranberry one and enjoy my coffee and jump on hopefully before 5 o'clock. It is 4:07 right now, but we will see how everything plays out. And yeah, we're going to enjoy a little morning peace, as it feels really nice to just wake up at this time. I'm not gonna lie, at least not 3 a.m. but 4 a.m, 4:30, 4:45, 5, because it's just so dark. The sun is kind of rising right now. I think no, that's just a light, but it starts to rise like at 5:30, and it's just so quiet, so collective. You're up before everybody else, besides like the doctors or people heading to the airport, and it's just like peaceful, especially if you're going to go for a run outside or a bike ride outside. You know, you get that morning calmness, that morning collectiveness, and it just feels really, really good to just know that you got up before everybody else and you put in the work before even anybody got up, and then they have to do their work, and they don't do their workout after work because they're just so tired. So it's good to know that sometimes you just gotta sacrifice sleep and able to do some things, because that's just kind of what you gotta do, you know. But oh, that coffee is good. That hazelnut, oh my god. That was a random thought, but yeah, that's my first time drinking that hazelnut. I've been doing maple pecan, but maple pecan is a holiday flavor, and we recently ran out, and so I got some Starbucks hazelnut flavored coffee pods or whatever, and oh my god, it is delicious, like absolutely delicious. Like, it's just so good. It reminds me of being a child when I would put like tons of creamer into my coffee. I don't even think it would have become but I don't even think it would be considered coffee anymore. I think it would just be considered cream, the amount of hazelnut cream I put into my coffee. But we're going to enjoy a little quietness. Hopefully we can get some good bowel movements, because no good ride, no good run, no good morning activity, even if I'm like weight training or something, no good morning activity starts before a good solid bowel movement. I'm just gonna be honest, I need that good solid bowel movement before a run especially. But what makes a good run is Cliff Bar, coffee, being cracked out on caffeine, but also because I do it one time a week, because I just don't want to get adapted to it, because you can get adapted, then you have to take more, and then you can overdose, and it's just, you won't feel as good on 100 milligrams compared if you never took it. So yeah. But what makes a good run feel is waking up early, getting that run in, feeling like you got the whole run in before anybody else is up, and then just chill out. I mean, it's just, there's something about that, but we're going to enjoy this. And yeah, get on that 200-mile ride.
On the type of runner where you need the support. To put it really simply, for your long, steady miles, any runner is probably going to be better in a bit more of a supportive shoe, one that helps promote good running. You know, you need something a little bit lighter, gives you just enough support, but allows you to kind of get some solid.
Okay, so we just finished a bowel movement as well as the coffee and Cliff Bar and everything. I didn't quite finish the coffee, but it's okay. It just got too rich for me. And caffeine coffee is so much more richer than actual like decaf coffee. But we are gonna get some more caffeine in from InFocus BPM. This is not really a pre-workout, it's a cognitive enhancer, but this is really, really good. It's raspberry lemonade flavor. I should have probably got their pre-workout, which I forget the name of it, but I didn't. I got InFocus, which is a focus enhancer with caffeine. It has L-tricyline, caffeine. There's so much ingredients on it, but I have In Focus. I'm gonna put this in a water bottle, and yeah, I'm probably gonna get, I don't even know, but we're ready. It's 4:40, and so we're still on goal. We gonna probably start before 5, so that is good news right there. Ooh, almost spilled the whole thing, but oh, that would have sucked. This is like $45. That would have really sucked. But that is delicious. Oh my God. It's probably hard to see me, but that right there is so good. And we're off. 0.1 miles in. Can't start off too hard, but we're into the ride. We're ready. We are ready. Alright, so we are 4 hours and 20 minutes in. The power is dropping a little bit. It's kind of frustrating, not gonna lie. Kind of hoping the power wouldn't drop this much, this quickly, but it is. We're 92 miles in, 4,433 feet of vertical, and 419.53 in. So, we're cruising, but we're not. My stomach is cramping up a little bit, which is upsetting. I practiced fueling for this event, and it's not working out for me. One ride I tried every 30 minutes after the hour marker, so the hour 30, because I would have the morning fuel of the Cliff Bar, and so then my stomach cramped up. Then I tried every 45 minutes with caffeine, and it worked out. That's what I'm doing here. And I actually started at hour 15 instead of an hour. My stomach is cramping up, which is disappointing. I don't know what's happening on Zwift right now. It's weird music, but that's what we're doing, getting through it. So that's all that matters. I'm not gonna quit, no matter how hard it gets. I'm not gonna quit. If I feel pain, I'll get off. But if it's just mental pain, leg pain, as in like the legs are tired, I'm gonna power through it. I'd rather push less power and get it done than push no power and not have it done. So that's what we're gonna do. Our goal is to cover every road in Zwift beside the bonus climb, because my trainer's not really compatible with that, and because I experienced tire slippage. But every other road, trying to conquer at least 8,000 feet of vertical, at least 200 miles, but 10-hour ride. So those are my goals. We'll catch y'all later. We're gonna keep powering through though. But my legs hurt. I have 4 hours and 40 minutes left. It's 10 hours, 8,000 feet, and 200 miles at least. And maybe do the Alps. I really want to get to Alpes Zwift to the top. I haven't gone to the top this whole training deal. I was gonna do it Friday, but I did bin top instead. My back is starting to hurt too. Alright everybody, so we are 6 hours and 45 minutes in with 6,970 feet of vertical with around 139 miles. So we're pretty much at our elevation goal. We have about 1,000 feet left, but I really want to get to Alpes Zwift, which is about 3,000 feet. Through my whole training block, I have not been to Alpes Zwift, and that is essentially one of my goals. It was one of my goals actually for this ride. So I will power through and get to the top of Alpes Zwift no matter what, because that's a big goal with this 200 thing. I did a 200 mile ride back in on September 12th of 2020, and I averaged 151 power. Yes, I have the smart trainer, and I do normally minus like 15 watts or so, just because it is a little less accurate, I will say. But that means the power would drop 151 minus 15 is like 146 or something like that, or 136 something. I don't really know. My mind's going bonkers and whatnot, but I kind of want to get to that. Right now my power is 146, so I would have to really make up some ground. My heart right now is very rambunctious. Like, it just feels like it's just like beating out of my chest, even though it's really not beating that much. Caffeine just kind of just made me, like, it just kind of made my heart like that, kind of just made it hurt. Like, when I got off the bike to just take a breath, my heart just would hurt. Maybe it's dehydration. I would get cramps. Like, I'm starting to get cramps, not going well. The caffeine is just kind of affecting me, but also helping the ride go by quicker and help me push more power in the beginning. But is it actually helping me in the long run? I don't know. It's tough to say. But we did basically calories every 45 minutes. We're about to get some oatmeal, because I'm just gonna be straight up honest with y'all. I'm bonking big time. I was really skeptical about eating and getting some oatmeal just because my stomach was cramping. It's like it was cramping pretty bad. Like, I had to get off the bike and literally have to go to the bathroom because it was just hurting so bad. And I'm just scared that I'm just not gonna feel motivated after I eat. After I sit down, get some food in me, I just feel like I'm not gonna be motivated. But that doesn't matter. I'm gonna see if I am motivated. Hopefully I am motivated to continue. That's one reason I'm skeptical about eating, but hopefully it'll give me enough fuel to be able to power through the rest of this time, around 3 hours and 15 minutes left. So hopefully I can power through. And I told myself, if I bonk, I have to go do leg day. And I'd rather finish this ride than do leg day. So that's kind of like my mental aspect in this, because I have done this ride before on my long days, and I have done leg day after this. So if I bonk or end the ride and cut it short, I have to do leg day. And I don't want to do that. But not gonna lie, I'm suffering. I've been suffering for the past like hour and a half. I've been having to get off the bike a lot, fill up my water bottles, just feel better. And yeah, but maybe if I do eat oatmeal, it's just gonna help me feel better through the ride actually, and maybe I can actually go longer. But when I got on the ground before, I said, let me go eat something because I'm bonking hard. I'm not feeling good. I'm just moving bricks at this point. My legs hurt, my heart hurts, just not pushing a lot of power. Just my legs are so tired and low on energy and low on I'm glycogen depleted. Everything that my legs were literally barely turning the pedal, and just felt so slow. I was pushing like 90, 110 watts compared to what I was pushing, which was like 145, 150 according to Zwift. Okay, minus like 15, 20 watts or so. But still, yeah, I was starting to like tear up and cry, because it's just like, am I quitting on myself? Am I not? Am I just too tired? Am I bonking too hard that I have to call it quits and DNF? And that's why I was tearing up. Also, like, just because I was so low in energy and bonking. Question of the day: have you ever teared up or like cried, or like just kind of felt so exhausted that you started crying or like tearing up, or just I don't know, felt emotion or something, because you're just so tired and exhausted that you just kind of like, I'm done. I have to just let out something or something. I don't really know how to describe it, but that's kind of what's happening to me right now. It happened to me in the past 200-mile ride when around like 9 hours or so. I just kind of forgot my whole mindset and what I was thinking, so I don't really know what I was thinking anymore. So I'm just gonna forget. If I remember it, I'll come back on the camera and say it, but if I don't, well, I'm just gonna say I don't remember what I was gonna say, and I'm just not gonna say it, you know. But we're gonna finish this ride no matter what, no matter how tired it is, how late it is, because what I'm getting through is, right now I would be at the hospital right now because it is 12:30, and I'd be prepping for surgery. The nurses and doctors, whatnot, would be coming in, and yeah, it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock surgery time, so it's part of it and whatnot. But this is surgery tomorrow, and we would be at the hospital, so I have to enjoy the bike, even the suffering part of this. It's time to get back on, finish what we started. We don't quit. If I have to quit them, guess I gotta quit, but we're gonna power through and try not to quit, but we'll see if it works out. I'm quite tired, but you know, we'll get through it. So everybody, it is 9 o'clock right now. I am drinking peak sleep right now. I just finished dinner, snacks, everything, because I just did a bunch of snacks after the ride, so I got some calories in, but I will not be able to eat tomorrow nor drink anything. And I think the drinking part will actually get to me more than the food, because I'm gonna be dehydrated, and I feel like hydration is a lot more important than food, no matter what, because even the leanest of people will have enough fat stores in them to go without food for multiple days. If there was a famine, obviously the leaner people will die before the more bigger people, but you still need water. And so I would beg to differ that water, if I had to choose between water or food on a bike ride or anything, and it wasn't really for performance, then I would choose water. Now if it was for performance, then I don't know what I would choose, because you're not going to be able to race at an elite level if you're not fueling on the ride or the run or the bike or whatever you do. But if you just take in water, you won't be competing at an elite level. You won't be essentially racing. You will just be doing it to see what your body's capable without food, and it's gonna take a lot longer because your body has to turn fat into fuel, which is a lot longer process and is a lot harder for the body to do compared to actually doing it with carbs. So I think the water part is actually going to get to me, but we finished the ride. In another video I will talk about this ride because this vlog I feel like has already been long enough, and I want to kind of save that for another video just to kind of talk about that ride. I'm gonna save that details and how I felt and how I just continued the ride and how I fueled and everything like that for another day. But I finished. I mean, that's all that counts, is I finished the ride and I feel like it was solid. I will say this though, and I'll mention it in the video where I talk about the ride, but I was starting to fall behind after I bonked a little and then I hit the Alps, and then I really started to fall behind in speed and the power really started to drop. And after the power started to drop, the speed really started to drop. It was already dropping, but it really started to drop. I was averaging like 21 miles an hour and then it started to drop. Of course I was going up a mountain, the Alpe de Zwift, which is basically Alpe d'Huez in real life, but the speed started to drop and I was starting to fall behind, and at that moment I knew it was going to be longer than 10 hours to get to 200 miles. And of course I wanted to complete every road in Zwift beside the bonus climb, so I was like, I still got the reverse epic KOM, so I'm like, this ride is going to take a lot longer. So it ended up taking like, I think I would say it took around like 11 hours and 15 minutes or something like that to complete the 200 miles. But then I was like, let's go to 205 to make sure you beat your PR, because this main goal was to beat the PR, my Zwift PR of the elevation and mileage, not necessarily the power output for that amount of time, but the vertical and mileage, in which I did. I think it was like 201 miles and 7,000 something feet of vertical, and I got like 13,000 feet of vertical with like 207 miles. And then I was like, let me just go to 11 hours and 30 minutes, and that's what I did. Yeah, it was a solid effort and really painful. Was in the pain cave, contemplated quitting multiple times. I will talk about that in another video of how I conquered the quitting mentality during this ride, but we got it done. That's all that counts. Surgery is tomorrow. Probably film another vlog for tomorrow, just show y'all the recovery and the rebuilding phase. I did cry during this ride, or at least after, and just thought to myself, you really won't be doing this till December, and God knows what you're going to be doing in December. You might be just focused on running, you might just be focused on biking, or you might be focused on running, biking is your cross train, or you might actually be focused on triathlon, and so you'll do less biking. So I don't officially know what I'm gonna do. I'm just that kind of hybrid athlete that does bike and running, and sometimes I'll do triathlon, but I do hate getting into the pool. But I am about to get you the comment of the day, which goes to all of the people on Strava. Thank y'all so much for commenting on the Strava ride. Matthew Luby, Nathan Holmes, Matthew Amish, Justin Roth, thank you so much. It goes to all of y'all, and thank you for all the support and everything like that. It does mean a lot. And thank you to all the people who have privately messaged me on Instagram and other ways saying good luck with your surgery, good luck with it, you're gonna recover quickly, you're gonna get through it. So I want to thank you for that. Anyways, I'll talk about more stuff in another vlog, but make sure you seek happiness, achieve goals, and find glory. I will see y'all tomorrow. It will be another day, probably. I will not be able to edit that quickly, especially with the surgery coming up, but I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Peace.